Welcome back to my cycling channel. Guys, today is all about cycling etiquette. I had a really funny thing happen to me and I want your opinion on it because it's an interesting story and I'm sure this has happened to other cyclists as well. Also, giveaway, Bike Suplex Kit is sponsoring my channel and has given me these 100% to give away to you guys, my subscribers. More info on this at the end of the video. So let's get into it. I'm on the bike path here in Tucson. It's a closed bike path, no cars, only pedestrians, cyclists. What I do is I leave my house, takes me an hour to get to Mount Lemmon, and I always go 210 watts, 220 watts. I'm cruising along and right beside me, I just see this older guy pull up beside me. And I don't care who's on a bike. I don't care if it's an 80-year-old on an e-bike. Everyone on a bike is good to me, doesn't matter. But I want to tell you, to give you an idea of who he was. Older guy, 50 to 60 years old, huge yellow windbreaker jacket on, big road bike with the aero bars attached on the road bike. And I'm like, whoa, this is weird. Why is this guy, okay. And so I slow down and to let him go. He doesn't speed up. So I go back to my 215, 220 watts, and then I pass him. Then 5 minutes later, I look back, the guy's on my wheel. Like, I mean right on my wheel. Like, I look back and I can't even see his face. I could just see his body, like his rear wheel. That's how close the guy was. I was an hour late leaving for the ride, and for my fellow parents out there, being a parent is a tough job. I have an 8 and 9-year-old and a 3-year-old, and this morning my 8 and 9-year-old were being rude to each other, and we have zero rudeness policy in this house. We sat down, we talked about it for an hour. There's tears. I've told them so many times they got to be nice to each other. We sorted it out, but I wasn't in a good mood. I was in my feelings, I was in my head, and I just wanted to get to Mount Lemmon to get this workout over. And this guy's sitting on my wheel. And I didn't. Now here's the thing. I'm going to explain what the problem is when someone's sitting on your wheel and you don't know them, you haven't talked to them. So I don't want this guy back there, and I'm going to explain to you why in a second. So I pull over and I wait 30 seconds, 45 seconds to let this guy go. I stop. Then I get back to my 215, 220 watts, and within 2 minutes, I catch this guy. And this is really important, and I'm gonna explain why. If I catch this guy within 2 minutes, and he's got a minute on me, he is not going my speed. He can go my speed in my draft because he's getting a 30% advantage. So let's do the numbers on that real quick. If I'm doing 220 watts, he only needs to do 150 watts to sit on my wheel. And in some cases more, because if he's a smaller guy, we're going a little bit faster, it could be 30 to 40%. So he could be doing even less. And I've tested this with my wife. She's doing 150 watts. I weigh 20, 30 pounds more than her, and I'm doing less than 150 watts on her wheel. So my point is, if he's riding his pace and I'm riding my pace, we're not riding at the same speed. So he needs to be in my draft to maintain my speed at the same effort. So at this point, like I said, I pulled over, and within minutes of me doing 220, I'm on this guy's wheel. So what I do is I rev it up and I pass him. But I don't pass him. I make sure I'm up to speed, and when I pass him, I don't look like I'm sprinting. I'm really not trying to pass this guy rudely. I get up to speed, and then I just look like I'm pedaling normally as I pass him. So I'm riding for another 10 minutes, and he's behind me. He's not in my draft anymore. And I do a U-turn. And as I do a U-turn, I come up this ramp to cross over this street called Tank Verde to get to Mount Lemmon. So I do a U-turn, and as I do a U-turn and I'm coming up, I can look down that way to see him. This guy looks at me and goes like this, "Fuck you." And I'm like, holy cow. I can't even believe that. I literally started laughing. This guy told me to fuck off. And this guy at no point talked to me. At no point did he say anything to me. Now, I'm going to dissect this a little bit, and I'm going to tell you how it applies to a group ride. And again, I want your opinion on this. Was I wrong here? I don't think I was, and I'm going to explain why. But if you think I am, I'd love to hear from you. Now, here's what it is. When someone's on my wheel, or I'm on someone else's wheel, the rider in front has a responsibility. I am now responsible for this guy. And what I mean by that is, say there's something in the road that could crash him out, a big boulder, like a rock this size. If I don't point that stuff out and I miss it, if I have to hit my brakes, in Tucson, they got these little squirrel things and they'll run right in front of you. And I mean, it's crazy. If you've ridden here in Tucson, especially when it gets warmer, there are these little squirrel things. I don't know what they're called. It's a cross between a squirrel and a hedgehog kind of thing. And they'll run right in front of you. I hit 2 last year. It's crazy. It's like they wait for you and run right out in front of you. So if I hit my brakes, I could crash this guy out. Another thing, if I'm passing someone and then there's other people coming towards me, I gotta wait. So essentially now this guy's on my wheel, I'm responsible for him. And on a day like today, I don't wanna be responsible for this guy. Not only that, the guy didn't talk to me. If he came up and rode up beside me, and when he did ride beside me, he said, "Hey, bro, do you mind if I sit on for a little while? I'm really smashed." I would have said, "No problem, sit on, bro. If you're wrecked and you're just headed home, sit on, I got you." But when the guy just rides up beside me, doesn't say anything, and he expects to sit on my wheel, and the day that I had today, most of the time I'd be fine, I just let them sit back there. Then giving me the finger is a whole other story. Anyways, but here, this brings me to my next point on the group ride. Let's say I show up to a group ride and I don't know what's going on, and I don't know what, like, it's my first time there, I'm in North Carolina or a new place or wherever. I communicate, and I always ask before the ride, during the ride, I ask, what's this ride like? What's the speed? Are we doing pace line? Are we attacking each other? And during the ride, where's the sprint? What's expected of you? And why is it so important to communicate? It comes back to safety. This guy came up to me and said, "Hey, I'm on your wheel. Do you mind if I sit on? I'm just gonna sit on. I'm turning off at this distance." Now I know he's only on my wheel for 10 minutes, not a big deal. I know he's back there. I know why he's back there. He's wrecked, and you know what I mean? So it's the same thing on a group ride. Have you ever been on a group ride? Everyone's like, "We're gonna ride steady to the bottom of the climb, and then it's free for all, and we'll regroup at the top of the climb." Everyone does that. You get to the top of the climb, you start to regroup, and then as you come over the top of the hill, some knucklehead attacks. It's irritating. This is why communicating is really important. Another reason is, say you at all times you need to protect your front wheel. And so if you got a guy in front of you that hits the brakes and then comes over, he'll take out your front wheel and you're fucked. It's another reason why communicating is so important. And again, another reason why you're responsible for people behind you. Because like I said, you hit those brakes and you come off your line, and you have someone behind you, you can crash them in seconds. And what's so terrible about it is you could literally break the person behind you, you could literally break their collarbone, and you'll just ride away and nothing will happen to you. So that's why communication is so important. And not only communication on the group ride, like what's happening in the ride, what are we doing, so you're now a part of this group, but also while you're riding down the road. Where are you going? Are you turning? Any movement you should be letting riders know what's going on. So if you're slowing, hand down, slowing. If you're turning, you're always pointing. I've seen so many times on group rides where people get confused where the turn is. And I've seen crashes. I've seen so many times where people have almost crashed, where one guy's turning, the other guy thinks they're going straight. Not good. Now let's talk about the giveaway. Here we go. We got the 100% speed crafts. I'll show them to you real quick. All you got to do to enter is click on the link in the description. It's for my subscribers. Love you guys. Free to enter. One thing I absolutely love about the 100% is they come with this extra clear lens. And these are what they look like. Very nice. Love it. So, really happy we're able to give this away. And guys, this is from Bike Suplex Kit. Go check out their website. They're a subscription-based cycling kit company, and they've given me these sunglasses to give away. So go check them out. They'll be in the description as well. Link to the giveaway will be in the description. And that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like it. Please comment. I'd love to hear your opinion on this cycling etiquette, because it's really complicated and there's a lot there. So I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. I'll see you soon. Bye.